So welcome to this video. This is just one of a few that I have done in a series where I am talking openly and honestly about the issue with product safety within the lash industry and the dark side of an unregulated lash industry that no one wants to talk about and most lash suppliers want to cover up. They don't want me to talk about because they don't want to be exposed as to what goes on and how much profit they make out of the crappy products that they sell. So today, what I'm going to talk about is 3 stabilizers that I see all of the time in lash adhesives sold by big companies. I'm not talking about somebody that's bought some glue from the Far East and decided to sell it. These are big companies with millions of pounds in the bank that know nothing about the products that they buy in. And you'd think with all that money, they could actually take the time to go and do some research and actually maybe invest in high grade lash liquids and not just buy cheap from the Far East and then sell to you guys for a massive profit and take your money to destroy your health. And you can see that I'm very passionate about this. But there's 3 stabilizers that we tend to see that are included in these glues. And I want you to go and Google these. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to go and Google these stabilizers. I then want you to put eyelash extension glue and these 3 stabilizers and start to find ingredients lists and material safety data sheets that will pop up on Google and show you that these are present in lash glues that are out there for sale. And if those suppliers selling these products knew anything about lash glues, there was no way they would sell them glues or even list that it's got that in there if they knew it was in there and knew it was harmful. Now, the reason I'm so passionate about this, and I'm very black and white what I talk about, I'm not pink and fluffy. I'm not going to tell the world that, oh, this is all right and everything's going to be fine and we shouldn't be worried about it, because I'm not a pink and fluffy person, okay? Because I've been personally affected by this back in 2014 when I became really allergic due to overexposure to lash glue. And if you haven't watched my first video in this series, go and look at that because it sets the scene for how I was allergic and how 9 years later I'm able to lash again. I had no choice, produced a safe UK range of UK made lash liquids because our regulations and manufacturing here are the safest in the world. If I'd lived, let's say, South Africa, I would still come to the UK to get my liquids. I'm not biased because I live here. It's just because we have the best manufacturing standards. So I want to talk about these 3 stabilizers yeah, just educate you on them because you need to look out for them. You need to know that they're in your lash glue because no one else is going to tell you because they will cause damage to your health. So the first one, Polyiso cyanate. So this is an industrial stabilizer, like all of them we're going to be talking about, that should never be present in any beauty treatment. It is used for things such as sealants and glues and paint systems and foam, basically industrial uses, but it's a really good stabilizer in those systems, not for lash glue, but it's used in lash glue because it's really cheap and it does a really good job of, stabilizers. What they do is they actually stop the glue polymerizing inside the bottle. They help with the strength of it. They help with the cure time. That's why they're added to it. So I had the pleasure of talking to Jim McCullen, who is an expert in polymer systems. And I was asking his advice about this ingredient because I don't know a lot about it. Like, I do my research, and he's a guy from the USA and he couldn't believe, he knows it's in, he's actually more into the sort of the nail science, but he said that's a horrible, horrible ingredient, like I'm saying, that should never be in there. He said, workers that are exposed to this need to wear high levels of PPE. They need to be wearing goggles, respiratory masks, the big ones that with like a ventilation system. They need to be covered all the way up to the neck. All the arms need to be covered, all of this. Yet it's found in a beauty grade product that is used by the eyes where this is ingested into the skin. And I have had people argue with me that on social media said, well, it's only a tiny amount, so it's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's a tiny amount. It should never, ever be used. But if you knew your stuff when it came to sourcing your liquids from the Far East and selling them on your shop, you would never buy this in, let alone list it with a material safety data sheet or an ingredients list with this ingredient. It's harmful to health, guys. It will destroy your respiratory tract. Stay away from it. Number 2, N-methylpyrrolidone, also known as NMP. So another stabilizer that is added to lash adhesive to stop it polymerizing in the bottle, make it bond quickly, make it last, blah, 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 all the things that stabilizers do. This is the scary one, guys, especially if you're a woman. Okay, it does affect men too. This has been shown to affect fertility in test rats that it's been used on, and they use rats apparently because they're quite similar to humans. Weird, but they do. They can't test this on a human for obvious reasons, okay? So they're putting it in lash glue. And again, people have argued with me, yeah, but Frankie, it's only a tiny amount of it. It doesn't matter. Why would you put something in lash glue that has been shown to cause fertility in animals that it's tested on? It's because these manufacturers don't give a flying fig about us, about our health. They don't know us, you know. So they literally just put the cheapest stabilizer that they can find that does a good job, and then we suffer. So I've done posts on this on my social media, Eyelash Excellence, over fertility, and I was amazed at the amount of women that dropped into my DMs and say, I have unexplained fertility since I've been lashing. Could this be the cause? It could be, but we can't test it. There's no way of testing it. But I think we have to be cautious about this. So I'm not here to scare you guys, but these are banned in the UK for these reasons, but they're coming out the Far East because no one regulates it and no one cares about your health but you. So guys, you need to be careful. Number 3, Phthalic anhydride. So this is another one that is a stabilizer used in our adhesive, and again, banned in the UK, should never be used. And if you Google this, this is another stabilizer which is used in industrial application, and it's basically a plasticizer. So again, what a stabilizer does in lash glue. And this one is very harmful to the respiratory tract, can cause bronchitis, severe lung diseases. It's just a nasty, nasty thing that if you were to use it in industry, because it's a great stabilizer, you would be wearing a load of PPE to wear it. So this is why it's used as industrial grade, because the guys that use it, and girls, are kitted up to the eyeballs in the correct PPE. But you guys that have got it in your industrial strength glue, which is basically super glue with a pretty label on it, are over it breathing this in. But they chuck it in there because it does a great job in an industrial type of glue. And then they go, do you know what? We'll use that on lashes because it's good. Expose you to it. They don't care, and it's going to make you sick. So please, please, please do start learning about where your products are coming from. Don't be blinded by these big companies that are selling you lash products. They're just hiding behind a big name. You need to check the ingredients. You need to ask questions of your suppliers. I've covered this in another video, but you need to watch out for these 3 stabilizers, which are sadly present in lash adhesive. And yes, there's lots of other stabilizers that are dangerous, but these are the 3 main ones which are known to cause serious harm to lash artists. And you don't want to be where I was back in 2014 and very, very sick. And if you are a woman of childbearing age and you are planning on getting pregnant, and even if you're a guy watching this who is a lash artist, NMP is the one that you need to be very careful of, okay? And if you don't believe me, please go and do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Go and do your own research on this. Google it. Go and find what lash products have got it in there, and you'll be really surprised. Now, if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments or reach out to me directly. You can find my details on my website, Eyelash Excellence. Also, don't forget to come and check out my range if you're looking for top-notch quality products that we ship all across the globe. So it doesn't matter what country you're in, you can have them. And I'm always open to helping to educate people that want to learn about this. You know, I have a passion for this because I was personally affected by this, and I'm really pushing to make change. I just want the industry to be safe. I'm not doing this. I get accused of doing this to sell my products. Well, if I was trying to sell my products, why would I be encouraging other people to revise the quality of their products? I'd be out there bashing suppliers as well, and I never do. I actually support suppliers and say these suppliers don't know what they're buying in. I do this to help educate suppliers as well, because we've all got to start somewhere. But anyway, don't forget, if you've enjoyed this, to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more, and I hope to see you at another video.